Hi guys, and welcome back to the shop. Today we want to talk about the Fuji Spray system and the different ways that you can spray your paint by those two other optional systems, which is the pressure pot or the PPS by the M3 company. Now the one that I purchased, the way that you purchase this unit, you can get like the Q3, 4 and 5. I choose the 5 because buy once, cry once. I don't want to worry about the power. It's basically that's what it means. The 3, 4 and 5 has a like different power, and this one, the Q5, is the only one that has the dial on it, so you can crank it up all the way up if you don't want to worry about the power, and it will have a lot of pressure on the air in order to kind of spray the paint, which is an awesome unit. I have for 3 to 4 years and I'm absolutely impressed by the quality. So this video is just to help you to take the decision if you want to go for the PPS system or you want to go for the pressure pot, because I mean you're gonna end up spending with this system right here, the PPS, about I would say $200 with everything, because just the container here is about $80, and you want to buy an extra, I believe it comes with the extra 20 liners, and the lid I believe it's another $80. So, all right, so once you already purchase, obviously all this is separate. This is one deal, this is another one, and this is the third one. You need those 3 elements to make this system work. So it's all purchased separately. Now let's say this is your gun, right? The way that you have it. Now your gravity feed goes here, right? But we're not gonna use this, of course not. The point of the whole system is like to be able to spray in any angle without worrying that you cannot tilt it or rotate it. So now let's say you have this. Once you purchase this, again, I'm gonna put the link on the description. Let's see if you can we can kind of see closer look. So basically this is the adapter that we're gonna just put it right here on the very top in order to make this system works. Now you put this one can basically attach here as well, as you see. Now you can kind of like fully tight this. I mean right now I don't want to like fully tight it because I'm not gonna use the system. Now you're gonna get your liner. You put it here, your liner, you fill it up with this with your paint, right? And you don't fill it up like extremely high because you gotta still put the lid on, so make sure you go like a little bit below the line. Now once you put the whole paint on it, your primer or your paint, now you're gonna position this on the top and it press it evenly. Now you're just gonna verify that this thing is evenly pressed down, so we don't have any leakage or anything. So once you have it like that with your paint on, you put this on the top, you align this one until it kind of falls down on place. It's only one direction that can go. You're gonna tighten this up, and you can like give it like a nice tight. It doesn't have to be extremely tight, just tight enough to make sure that we don't have we have a good seal. You put this container on your surface, on your table, and then you align this one right here. And you have to be like that because if you tilt it, you will spill all the paint. So once you have it like that, just put it like this, just press it down firmly and then twist it until it kind of clicks. Right there, it just clicks on. Now basically you're good, almost. Do not press this if you kind of like tilt this down, because that paint can go, still can go straight forward and drip, and you don't want that. So don't press the trigger, but you gotta do the you gotta plug this thing in here. This little this is the one that's gonna give you the air pressure in order to create this kind of like internal pressure inside and push the paint. So basically it doesn't matter in which direction that you're painting, this thing is gonna suck the air. It's gonna like kind of like create some sort of vacuum, and it's gonna like push the paint through it. So now the only downside of this is because I mean once you have it like this, right, you plug your hose in here, and so you're ready to go. Basically spray in any direction, upside down, and you're gonna be very happy with this system itself. And I had it for many years, and I didn't feel the necessity of the pressure pot until recently because I want more capacity. This cup is thick. This is super durable. Again, I have it for a couple of years, and this thing is like amazing. Now this one was fully covered with paint, so I had to like really clean it and brush it just for the video purposes, so you can kind of see through it. Otherwise this thing was completely like white with primer and paint. You don't need to fully clean it every time. For me, I just did it because of the video. Now another thing I want you to consider is the liners and the lids are very, very durable, especially because the thickness of this stuff is it's like pretty good. Like they're like very, very nice thick plastic, so you can immediately after you finish painting, that you remove your your lid and everything, rinse this up with just regular temperature water, room temperature water, so you have no issues. One of the things that I will say is that this can be used up to like 4, 5, 6 times, depend how good you are, like by kind of like cleaning this both of the lids and the liner. But make sure and consider that I only use water-based paint. But keep in mind that I probably, let's say that I spray once a month, so I'm not spraying every week. So just keep that in mind. Now for the system right here, which is the pressure pot by Fuji, it depends. Right now it's a 320. It doesn't come with the extra other hose right here. You have to purchase this additionally, which I believe is another 40 bucks. Now let's talk about the pressure pot and what is the benefits of this. So basically, just immediately right off the bat, I want to like tell you that you can basically put a half a gallon here, 2 quarts, in comparison to the pressure pot. The pressure pot, the PPS system. I believe this is at the 28 ounces, which I guess is equally to the 1 quart. So basically this is like 1 quart, so you gotta be kind of do more refilling with this. So that's kind of annoying as well. I forgot to mention that, but now that we are into this kind of like capacity part of the thing, so now this, since it's already like half a gallon, this is, man, it changed the game, to be honest. At the beginning I was like, okay, whatever is good, now I can spray without the obstruction of having the PPS system here on the top and be able to access tighter areas on the cabinets or whatever I'm spraying. That is like reduce space, but definitely the capacity is a huge part of it. Now this is the element that comes with it, so this is going to be the one that you are going to screw it in on the top. Obviously you need to gotta buy those filters as well in order to kind of like put it in here and start like pouring your paint on it. Just kind of make sure that your paint is nice and clean. Now once you kind of like filter your paint and you fill it up, you can pretty much fill it all the way to almost to the top, I guess, if you want. So once you have filled up this one, you're gonna insert this one right here. Now make sure that this thing is nice and tight when you like seal this the system. Now this is going to go on the top. So once you put it here, you're gonna have this other hook that you have to put it on. Now the way that you're gonna want to position this, you want to connect those two right here, but this is the way that's supposed to go. Once you plug it in one side and then you plug the other side, let's say like that. Now the system comes only with this clear one. You have to separately purchase this one. I joined all this with the shrink wrap basically. Now remember that you can use this tool in order to tie this up. So I'm not gonna fully tight it because I don't need to be plugged, but you gotta make sure that this thing is absolutely nice and tight. And once you have that ready, now you're gonna screw in the other hose here. Now keep in mind that this is the direction the gun is going to be attached to. So this other side right here, you're gonna plug your system. So once you plug it here, you see, now you complete the system here. And once you have that on the other end, now the way that you plug it here at the end, you just plug this one in here. Now this one is gonna go up here. That's what I'm saying, like this thing is pretty awesome. I love this little tool. Like make sure that you keep it around. Now the way that I do it, you can kind of like still get your hand around this either way, like this, or I think the last time the way I did it, I kind of like have it like this. Oh no, I have it zip tight right here, so it never moves. So I was able to kind of spray and have more control. This is basically the setup that you're gonna have. The only thing you have to do here, gotta plug this on one side, and as you see right there, you just plug it and just leave it on the side, I guess whatever side that you want, and just start like spraying. So once this is empty, you just gotta screw the bottom of this and fill it up with more paint, screw it back in, and you should be ready to continue spraying more. So quickly just do for all of you that have the gun, the T75. Now the way you can make it work, definitely can make it work, but just keep in mind, for me, I had to purchase additionally one of those, right? So I ended up Actually, the new one, I put the new one, I plug it here to this other hose right here. This is the new one that I purchased. This is the one, the used one that I have, but basically the same length. Now, in order to make this work, and you have like basically this nice connection, if you see all the way there to the bottom, right? And now, in order to make it the connection, both of them ended up here at the same length. So I ended up removing about 9 inches of the hose in order to make both of the lines ended up at the same length for the container, because I have the T75G gun, the gun type, the gravity feed. But if you have the bottom connection, you should have no problems at all. Now, the only thing you had to do in order to remove that cap, I cut it from one side, and I cut it there, and then the spiral, if you see right there, in order to remove the cap, because it was a very tight. Now, for what I remember, I heat up the plastic a little bit in order to kind of have enough flexibility in the plastic in order to put the connection back in there, because it was pretty tight. To be honest, it was like really tight, but this modification is absolutely doable. Now, the other thing that I didn't see anywhere, like how to clean the system, but I'm gonna tell you how I did it myself. I just fill out the container with regular tap water, and remember that I use water-based paint, so I can just use regular water. You can put like a couple drops of soapy water, I guess, as well. You hold the trigger against the sink, and you will start seeing until the container will get deployed eventually. You probably need to fill it up this a couple times. I will say, like, I think I did 3 times, and after that you will see how throughout the line you will see how it gets clear and everything. After that, you can remove the line, you can remove the parts of the gun as well, just so you can clean up your gun. And you got to make sure as well that don't forget to clean your container, the internal part of the container, and until it's completely nice and clear, so for the next time that you want to use it. Now let's talk about the positives and negatives of each system, and the reason that why you want to consider it. Probably this is the most important piece of the whole video, the piece of information that you really want to know and consider now that I show you how to utilize both of them. Now let's just start with the pressure pot. I will say immediately the upside of this, or the positive side of this pressure pot, is the capacity. 2 quarts in here, half a gallon. Man, this is a dream, because once you like fill it up this thing and you put it on your belt, I start spraying. This thing is amazing. I love the capacity. Less refilling is a quicker time for you to finish your job. Now the gun, once you have the plug, just only the hose to the gun. Basically the gun is just a small footprint, so you can reach small tight areas and spray it, and it's relatively lightweight, so it's perfect. Now the negative side, I would say, is the price. If you pay $320, still it's kind of pricey. Now you got to consider that you need to buy the extra hose in order for you to operate this pressure pot, and then you have to be using filters for your paint. It's another step, another negative, but it's not big deal, honestly. Once you see that you refill this bad boy less often, all that stuff, you forget about it. That's amazing. Now let's move to this one, the PPS system. Loved it. You can spray basically the same ways, any directions, so no problem. Now that's the positive side of things, and the price is very approachable. I say less than $200 you can get the whole system with the liners, and this one includes the filter on the liner. It has the liner and it has the lid, and includes the filter. That's huge. You don't have to be filtrating, none of this stuff. Perfect, beautiful. So I love that stuff. Easy to clean if you consider that you're gonna throw it away. Everything that is here, once it's like you drain it, and you pour the remaining paint on your paint can, is disposable. Less clean up. You only have to clean the gun. That's the positive. Now let's speak about the negative. Now maybe you already see and you already noticed what's the negative of this, but now being the cup here in this area, either way, if it's here or if it's on the bottom, it depends if you got the T70 or T75, it will limit yourself when you try to spray through like some narrow areas. This thing is gonna be in the way. It's possible still, I was able to spray even in some narrow areas, but you gotta be way more creative. And trust me, when you're painting, you don't wanna be creative, you just wanna be able to spray evenly. So definitely this is a big negative that I noticed. The other big negative I would say that is, I guess, probably more important. Once you fill this bad boy, you can a quarter of a paint of a can over here, and if you're spraying above your head or your head level, and you have to be spraying, trust me, you will develop some shoulders. And it's, I don't consider myself being a weak person. I like to work out, but trust me, at the end of the day, if you spray quite a bit of material or cabinets, stuff like that, you will not like this. That will put a stress on your shoulders. I'm lefty, that's why I use these hands normally. But like, trust me, when I was spraying this, I was using both of my hands, left and right, because there's no way I feel fire on the shoulder, so I'm gonna use the other one. So that's a big negative. I would say the weight on it and the obstruction, the extra limitation that you have, because all this bulkiness in here. You can get the one is a smaller capacity, but then you're gonna be refilling way more times. This is the third negative, that you have to be refilling this often enough for you to notice this and consider you're like it's no way I'm gonna be refilling this, especially. Okay, let's put it like that way. If you're gonna be spraying small little project, perfect, this is good. I like it because it's like you don't need a whole capacity, you don't need half a gallon, and this is just putting it in here. But again, you're gonna be limited if you try to spray something that is like narrow. So basically, this is good if you're gonna do small projects. Small to medium project, this works well. But if you're gonna make mediums to large projects, right here, this is the one I will say that I recommend. And now that I have both of them, I think I'm gonna be using just exclusively, I will say, the pressure pot, especially because now now that I can remove that, I'm not gonna have this in the way, and I can basically plug it here and just gonna have like small profile. I can basically have a lot of access in a small area in order to spray these, and this is gonna be very lightweight. I started with this system I have like 3 to 4 years with this system, and I've been very happy with it. So don't think that I hate this system. I think this is wonderful, especially if you don't want to like pull the trigger and have the extra spans and you don't have big projects. This one, it will be perfect. Just consider those limitations. But like, now that I have both, I'm happy that I have both, so I can approach depending on the project, I can basically go and choose my two different ways to spray where I'm gonna put my paint, right? The pressure pot or the PPS system. So I'm pretty happy with both of them, but now that I have the option, I think I will gonna be using more the pressure pot, just to let you know. Another thing to consider, I will say, get yourself one of those full protection bodies, so you don't have to like clean up your clothes or mess up your clothes. Those are kind of like, they're kind of reusable. You can use a couple times before they're completely destroyed. But if it's hot, in a hot environment, you will feel it with this. You're gonna sweat, trust me. Another thing to consider, get yourself different size nozzles. And now an example, this one comes with a 1.3 if you purchase this with the system. So this is a really good overall general purpose air cap. So I will say, get yourself something more narrow. This is 1.0 if you're gonna spray something more liquidy, but if you're gonna spray something thicker, like in this situation, I got the 2.0. 1.8 I will say is the sweet spot, but I don't know, for some reason I ended up buying the 2.0. But they work so well, especially with latex. Something is like much more thicker. And definitely just keep in mind, if you're gonna like spray something that is thicker, you want a unit. Like an example, this Fuji Spray is the Q5, has much more power, much pressure, and in combination with this, you will have a good time spraying this, applying this on the surface and having like more coverage faster. Again, don't forget, get yourself a switch, a remote wireless switch. Now this one, you plug it on the wall, and then you plug this the extension cord to your unit, and with this remote, you will have this with you. You put it in your pocket, you turn it on, turn it off from a distance. You want the unit to be at least 20 feet away. You want less cleanup because everything's gonna settle on the system. So trust me, you're gonna end up cleaning the system. Now it has a filter that you have to clean as well, so you don't want to do that. And then you don't wanna walk all the way to the unit to turn it off manually. That's why you need this wireless remote. Now, if you want to know which is the primer and paint that I use in order to get the smooth professional results in my projects, if you want me to make another like full video about this, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're already there, if you don't mind, give it a quick like to the video. It helps tremendously and inspire me to continue making great content for you guys. And if you want to watch my next video, it's going to be to the right or to the left of the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.